What do we need here? What do we need here? Who will be the first little WDA in here? People. This. Close. Open, close, close, open. Oh. I guess we can get the challenge popping here. I'm 2 minutes early, people. Aren't you excited? Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Guess we'll have to see how many people will show up, though, before I make the bracket. I feel like the music is a little bit loud. Just a hair. Do 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 do. Yo, Wombos! What is good, man? It has been a while. How have you been? How have you been? It's been a while indeed. You still smashing? You just chilling? How's your Tuesday going? Just all of the above, dude. Are you pumped about Smash in December? That's the real question. Are you pumped about Smash in December? University stressful. I haven't played Smash in a while. Yeah, for sure. I haven't played since Bayonetta came out. It sounds ironic, but it's true. I want to try Zelda on the new Smash. I haven't actually looked into any of like the breakdowns or like the footage or anything. I'm gonna buy it regardless and stream it. So if you're getting it, I got you, fam. I got you. Yo, Bodie! Just subscribe to Twitch Prime. Thank you, sir. Thank you, brother. It's good to see you. How's your Tuesday treating you? Did I miss the little gem drop or did it already go? I miss it every time. Hey, yo! Bodie, I've got some good news for people like you, my friend. We've got some good news coming around tonight. I'm not getting it because I don't have a Switch, but I'll be down to watch. Exactly. Made you resubscribe? I feel you. Your month was up. But, again, with Twitch Prime, you get a free sub every month. Thanks for spending it here, man. What up? Well, I was going to wait till more people got here, but long story short is that as an affiliate, which is what tier of my channel is, we get one custom emote for the channel. So we need to come up with what little baby image in the chat would you like to use as a subscriber of the stream? You know, it could be something like Baby Rage, but with my face. I mean, who doesn't know that? I mean, who wouldn't want that, you know? Who wouldn't want a Ross Rage or something? I was thinking maybe something more generic, just like bad rolls or god rolls or just like a sidekick or something. I don't know. We're gonna make a little poll. It's gonna be cool. We're gonna see what people would actually want. What incentivizes the subscription? Can you make a Sad Jordan on a dice? We can make anything. Anything that you can put in a essentially in Photoshop, you can make it happen. It's just when it gets compressed to such a small size. Sad Jordan on dice for bad rolls. That would actually be really funny. I feel like someone out there could make that in like 2 minutes, and it would take me like 3 hours to make it. Do 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 do. Sounds good. Finally over your upper respiratory infection from last week. Dude, that's so sad. I apologize. I apologize for your body that betrayed you. It sounds disgusting. In like, not like a you're gross, but like a I'm sorry for you sort of way. It was rough, dude, I bet. I bet so. Where's all of our homies at tonight, man? We need some more people to get in here and play. Boom, bam, 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 bam. Boom, 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 boom. I've got good news and bad news, Bodie. The good news is that you're here and I'm here and Wombos is here. The bad news is, well, there's actually two good news. So the bad news would be that you were the only one that filled the form out this week. The good news is, usually there are people that wander in. They're like, I'm not filling out the form. I'll just come play. Reg, what does Reg work on? Reg from DM North, right? So Reg from DM North was going to be here tonight, but he had a hockey game instead. I was excited to have a new guy tagging along for his first WDA experience. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see if I can work my super awesome paint skills and make Sad Jordan on dice, because that would be hilarious. Do I have paint on this computer? So when I got a new hard drive for this computer, let's see how this would work. Oh, pickles, not that. Oh, pickles. New window. Sad Jordan. I wonder if there's any like copyright claims that like I can't use Sad Jordan. Michael Jordan tears. It's so funny every time. Oh, it's so funny. What is the Dice Arena? So it's a weekly event style tournament for a game called Dice Masters. So the games would look like this. So there's Sad Jordan. Sorry, I'm looking up Sad Jordan here. But what is eventually going to happen is that we'll have two players facing off in a game called Dice Masters. It's a collectible card game from WizKids. It's a head-to-head game. You build a team of 8 characters versus a team of 8 characters, and through a series of turns and attacks, you try to get the other person's life down to 0. Sort of similar to like Hearthstone, but it's a dice building game instead of a deck building game. So you sort of use the energies from the little dice you roll, and you try to buy your bigger dice, and then you get your bigger dice to fight their bigger dice, and eventually somebody will win. But there's lots of It's a strategy game for sure. Lots of different ways to win. There's like almost 3,000 cards or something at this point, so it's really fun. But I run this event every Tuesday night. Unfortunately, it seems like this might just be when the stars aligned and or are unaligned, because there are not many people here just yet. All right, let's just use this. Save the image as Jordan crying. Good, it's already saved. Done. And then let's import it here. Paste. No, that's not what I need. Delete. Whatever I need to do. Select. Insert. It's so funny. It's funny every time. So I have to do something like this. Okay, cool, yeah. It's a good time. It's a good time. If you're looking to learn to play the game, which, again, I highly recommend, if you go to youtube.com/DM, like Dice Masters Armada, DM Armada has some really good, really great content for the game, including some how to play videos and such. Magic Select. What does Magic Select mean? I don't have any idea what that means. Magic Select. Cancel. Cancel. That seems terrible. It seems terrible. Can I don't want a rectangular area. I want... This is why paint sucks for this sort of thing. Let's... I don't have any idea. Canvas, pixels, blah, blah, blah. Transparent canvas, that's what we need here. That's what we're talking about. DM Armada. Yeah, that's right. Just like that. He's a good friend of the streams. Really good content creator and creative mind. Giving MJ a little shave here. No one will ever know. I mean, this is like my crappy paint skills. This is not at all the actual emote, of course. Cut off his eye a little bit, but it's cool. It's cool. If I was really trying to do this. Yeah, check it out. Check it out. And I'm sorry there's no games going on right now. We should be starting like right now, but there's only Bodhi's here, which I totally appreciate that. But usually we have between 5 and 8 players every week. Vivbot is here. What up, Vivbot? If you are indeed a real person, I appreciate you coming by every week. Otherwise, I'll just say it out loud to everyone, is that I think you're not a real person. But prove me wrong. I really love that. Because you're here every week, and I say that you're here every week, but sometimes I'm like, maybe I'm just talking to a robot. It's hard to tell this day and age. It's fine, he's still teaching. Yep, still teaching. Algebra 1, this is my 5th year teaching. It's still going well. I find the lack of participants tonight disturbing. I agree, man. And the funny part is nobody even... I mean, Trey told me he wasn't coming because he's playing in real life tonight. But nobody else let me know, which is super sad. Soup sad. Do. All right, so what if we So if I save this... Oh gosh, no, we don't want that. Such a killer format too. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking it was going to be a really good time. But no, crying Mike in my trash folder. I'm just going to go ahead and save it to my trash folder. All right. Save. So now we start a new document. Don't save. Now we got to find some dice to put Jordan on. Blank dice. Images. This is going to look hilarious. There we go. We got some pizza rolls. Boo-doo-doo. How many blank dice should it be? Should we go for 2 or 4? Also, I want to make them as big as possible so that when they get scaled down, they look good. I feel like we should do white for sidekicks. You want to shoot some breeze about some dice? Yeah, we could do that. We could totally do that. We could talk about your team. If you want to, if we just want to get in a Hangouts call and look through the team, that might be super fun. I mean, it would definitely be more fun than me doing a crappy MS Paint emote right now. Let me turn my music off real quick. We don't need that currently. Let's get into room 1. Doodle-doodle-doodle-doodle. It's gonna be just our own personal show. It's gonna be the best. Let me do that. Let me turn the music down / off. Boop. Let me pull your team up real quick. It's gonna be the best. Oh my. Oh, we could look at the DC spoilers. That would be fun. What are we doing? Oh yeah, I was gonna pull up the team list. Yas. And doodle-doodle-doodle. What's up? How's it going, dude? Solid. Sorry we couldn't find you an opponent tonight, it seems. This is the first time we've seen this sort of tragedy. Well, I'm glad you're here. Right, exactly. I was like, oh, somebody will come wandering in late. Like, no, just nobody. But let's take a peek at your team. You can run us through how you envisioned it working. Yeah, give us the lowdown. No, I've got the team builder pulled up, so yeah. I totally agree, and I 100% appreciate that, by the way. Because I was like, if people aren't pumped about it, like you could stretch my words like pretty far this week, you know? Right. I agree. Nice. Oh yeah. Oh, that's nasty. Oh, jeepers. Okay. Heyo, there it is. Nice. Right. Yeah. Because everything else is pretty expensive. That everything else is pretty expensive. Solid. Yeah, that's nasty. Mm-hmm. Anybody damaged by this can't block. Yeah. And then just throw giant dragons at him. That's this. Right. I definitely I slotted in some anti breath weapon on my anti breath weapon X is I think is the one I played, which was the I guess other silver dragon. Yeah, so I definitely had one of those. I was like, oh, dragons, but I didn't think of that you thought of. I didn't think of Beholder at all, which I mean, we know that Beholder can get gross with some other stuff, but luckily a lot of the good globals are not on monster characters necessarily. But I mean, Blue Eyes is pretty good. Red Dragon is pretty good. So using both of those for free is would be super nice. Exactly, exactly. That's awesome. That is awesome. I wish we had more team lists to go through, but the only one I have otherwise is my own team. I don't know if you looked into it at all. Actually, did I build a team for? I did build a team for this. So I had so my favorite monster of all is Obelisk, the Tormentor from Yu-Gi-Oh. So it's the one that when he's blocked and not knocked out, he deals his damage equal to his attack to my opponent and the blockers, which is so gross. I had the one cost Morphing Jar, which is sort of like I mean, I never realized how good of stats that is for a one cost. Like we have right, it's so nasty. I had the Swarming Goblins from D&D one. Goblin Attack Force was pretty much just for the global because I needed them to block Obelisk. Um, Baby Dragon, when this monster attacks, you may pay Bolt to give it +2 attack, which for a four cost, if you can get through, what is that, 6 damage, I guess. It was sort of like throw a whole bunch of big things at them, and there's no way they'll be able to block all of them. Is sort of how it worked out. And then Horn of the Unicorn gives two things Overcrush, so that's so gross. Yep. So, and then I again anti breath weapon with Silver Dragon. I did have Blue Eyes and improvised weapon because that's a good time. So yeah, although I do like the black Red Eyes Black Dragon. So it's so gnarly, so gnarly. Um, what else could we? Oh, we could look at spoilers. You want to look at the DC spoilers? Have you looked at this already? Nice. Sweet. So what do you think about Investigation getting a reprint so quickly? Yeah. Oops. Yeah. I do like the art on here. I think it's pretty cool. It's funny though because I feel like generally the art I'm not really behind it, but that one looks super cool. But right, exactly. Yeah, depending on how many sets they want to dump on us in the next 6 months. Next was Parasite. Parasite's 2-cost bolt. Says, while he's active, instead of declaring Parasite as an attacker, you may add his attack and defense to an attacking character die. You may do this once for each of your Parasite character dice that do not attack. That is going to get so filthy. Yeah. Uh-huh. Double Overcrush? Oh, that is so gross. I wonder though, like, so it says while he's active, instead of declaring as an attacker. So is this sort of like like you know how Infiltrate is like a when not blocked ability? So like does this trigger right after attackers are assigned? So you'd have to choose who you're going to parasite before blockers are assigned. So that makes it a little bit more balanced. Like I feel like otherwise it's like improvised weapon where you can just slap it on whoever's left. But yeah, I definitely see that getting some solid play. Gosh, yeah. Right. Or like they were saying on the article, they were like, just think about this with Insect Plague and Wong or something. Like you're gonna have Wong coming through for 8 damage. If they're both on level 3, that's 8 damage. For you pay 1 global and you get 8 damage through. That's so gross. Right. Yeah. Right. That's gonna be rude. It's definitely gonna be something like I feel like it's gonna be meta changing enough that you'll have to at least think about it. Like I don't know if it's gonna be like an every team staple sort of thing, but I definitely think it's gonna be like you're gonna have to wonder, are they bringing Parasite or not, or like what's my answer? What's my answer to Parasite? Right, and the sweetest part, in my opinion, is that he doesn't leave the field after that. Like, it's so you can essentially attack with his stats and then have him to block as well. Like, usually there's that trade off where it's like, well, am I gonna attack and then I won't be able to block with them? But this is like, nope, you can just gift your stats to someone else and then still block with them. Right. And it's not even it's while active, but it's per character dice. That's so gross. Oh my gosh. That's gonna be fun. Next on the list was Elastigirl, which this is the one where I was like, the art just does not grab me. Like I don't know anything about the comic book lore or like where this scene is coming from, but it just does not tickle my fancy, not even a little bit. So it's Elastigirl cannot attack the turn she is fielded. And she has an aftershock ability, prevent 2 damage from an attacking character die, or prevent 2 damage to you. What's your initial thoughts? Right. So, I mean, her defense. Well, all right. She's a 1-2, a 2-4, or a 3-4. Right, and that's what I was sort of thinking. Like, aftershock is cool, but only if you can kill them. Like the only real use I see here, and maybe I'm just a little short sighted on this, but I see her being like, if she tanks an overcrush hit, then it's like she can block essentially 2 more damage of overcrush. Which, I mean, tanking 6 damage with a 2 cost is pretty good. But I don't know if overcrush is as big a deal like to build around. Like I don't know if like I don't know if that's going to be coming around enough to be like I should build against overcrush. It's like, right. Right. No. I mean, by the let's say even if she's on her level 1 side, you still have to missile her twice, which by the time you pay for 2 globals, you may as well just pay for 2 negate 1 damage globals. So that's silly. Hey, Joe's in the chat. Joe, what's good, man? He said where them matches at? Well, I have no audio for who you're talking to. Really? Say something real quick, Bodie. Interesting. Hello, hello. Okay, mine's going through. Yours, however. Yeah, I think it's not coming through default. That should work. It's true though. It says I have no desktop audio. Interesting. I'm trying to think why that would have gone. Because when you were in the stream earlier, could you hear the music? So that means my desktop audio was coming through. I wonder if it's a Google Hangouts thing. Microphones default, speakers are default. That's so weird. Barely. Oh, interesting. Maybe I just have it really turned down. All right, try it again. Give us a little check. Turn up the bass. Yeah. Can't hear myself in the cans. Might want to turn him up. Interesting. I did turn down the desktop audio a little bit, but I didn't think because on the videos last week, which first off, the videos that Steven posted were awesome of last week. The exposure, I was thinking the exposure was going to bring in some new people tonight too, but again, the stars were just misaligned tonight. Which, Joe, the answer to your original question is that Bodie was the only one that came to play. I know, it's such a bummer. It really was. Everybody was like, dude, I don't want to play Breath Weapon, so I'm just out. Everyone's busy with parties. It's true. The old Tuesday night Halloween party. Or like a lot of game stores. I know like a lot of game stores run like theme nights, tonight and tomorrow. So, but Joe, we were running through the DC spoiled cards. So if you want to toss your opinions in on, we'll back up to Investigation. So what do you think about an Investigation reprint? What do you think about Parasite, which we think is going to be fairly game changing? I'm not gonna, it's not gonna change Super Rare Yanti. It's not gonna change, some of the super top tier teams, but right. So the only way this affects Super Rare Yanti is that you might want to play the common instead. Which is definitely, actually, it's one of the good things about Super Rare Yanti is that all of her rarities are super good. Souse. Parasite Enhanced Overcrushers still lose to KGB. Yeah. Yeah. KBG. What do you think of Elastigirl, Joe? Her Aftershock ability with 4 defense. It would be pretty good if she had like a 1/2/2 defense. Which is funny because like a 2-cost character, 1/2/2 is like pretty reasonable, you know? Right. Right. You gotta like fabricate them yourself or something. Joe says good for a draft environment, not good for competitive. I think that's true. I mean, you can, like I said, I think it's going to be good for absorbing some overcrush, but oh, yeah, he gave a shout out to the Doom Patrol affiliation too. There we go. All right, Atlantis. We haven't talked about Atlantis yet. What do you think? So it says when you field a sidekick character die, draw 2 dice and roll them. Yeah, I mean, I think it is going to be insane. Like, if you think about it, I've gushed over this card in Spot in the Unlimited Discord yesterday. Oh my gosh, so I was thinking. I mean, simply just with Professor X Global, like the new Professor X, you pay 1 mask, you get to field a sidekick. First off, you draw 2 dice and roll them immediately. Let's say you fix down the sidekick. Right, if you fix down the sidekick, you can just empty your whole bag. Exactly. Just fix it back down, field it again. Of course, is Professor X once per turn? I don't remember. Okay, but even still, like you're creating 3 energy for nothing. So if you fix that sidekick that you fielded back down, there we go. If you fix that down, you know you're still creating 2 dice for nothing. Plus you're getting 1 sidekick out of your use pile, which is gross. Like I'm thinking. Go ahead. Yeah. And I mean, I think this is super strong for a 2 cost. Like I was thinking earlier, I was like, how much higher could the cost be for this still to be a good card? That's right. I think this is sort of in the same realm of like when we first saw Bifrost and we were like, "Oh my gosh, Bifrost is going to be so gross." Um, but like this is a 2 cost, you know what I mean? Like this is different. You can buy this and Mimic on your first turn. Ugh. Works well with Mr. Miracle and Malekith Super Rare. Yeah, Malekith Super Rare is definitely still one of the cards that I need. Still need that card. But yeah, I think this is going to be pretty good. I can't. I feel like until I try it, I don't really know how good it's going to be. Like sort of like Infiltrate. Like Infiltrate was impressive, but like until we actually saw it in action, no, you know, everyone's like, "Ooh, one damage per character. That's pretty cool." And then you're like, "No, that's you know." Right, and yeah, that was back when Rare Cube was still, you know, rampant. So I feel like this is going to get used in some sort of roundabout way. Some people argue that this would be better over Mimic because Mimic is constant and Atlantis isn't. I mean, yes, but this one you get to draw and two roll. You get to draw and roll two on that turn. Like, this game is built around your ramp. You have to, if you ramp, you're ramping for the next turn. This card or investigation, like it's essentially right then and there is when you get your benefit, which is so gross. Also, let's say you roll this and some sidekicks on your first roll. You get a sidekick, and this comes up double energy. Then you roll it anyway. If this comes up double energy and you didn't roll any sidekicks, like you can just use it for two energy. It's I don't know. It's gonna be pretty gnarly. Right. It's like two this turn, two next turn. I mean, not to mention, we haven't forgotten that this is an action, so it will trigger a tune, right? So, oh gosh, yeah, we'll just see what sort of like format breaking sorts of things we could make with this. I haven't really thought about building with it or not, but uh, I think it is going to change the way people are building, especially some of those sidekick teams. Going to get pretty nasty. Right, right, right. Yeesh, are we going to see like the return of the Dum Dum Captain America teams? Yeah, Dum Dum Spider Man, Captain America, Deadly Sidekicks, just all kinds of weirdness. Mm. Mm-hmm. The one where you draw three and you field all the sidekicks or something? Good grief. Yeah. Generally, what do you think? I mean, so we're gonna drop Warhammer here in a bit, right? Less than a month. What do you think? I feel like generally I'll even say the last, like all of 2018 modern, other than Super Ayanti, has been like a shift back to combat damage. Like it's not it's not a whole bunch of, like when Bishop came out, like everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's gonna shut down all of these direct damage teams. But really, when Bishop came out, that was like as soon as the game turned to like unblockables or just overcrush or just straight up combat damage, blocker manipulation sorts of stuff. So what do you think based on this and Warhammer stuff? What are you thinking? All right. Okay. So back to the time where like every character spot on your team mattered. It wasn't just like right. Yeah. Right. Yeah, it like negates the first instance of damage or something. It was similar to the Iron Fist promo, but not quite like that, but it was similar. Yeah, I think it's gonna be cool. I'm pretty excited. Yeah. Right. And that's the other question is like, have we seen anything yet that dethrones Yanti Super Rare? Yeah. I don't think so either. Like, I feel like Yanti still wins Worlds. Like, even with Warhammer coming out in time for Worlds, I still think. I mean, unless there's just something we are 100% overlooking. Like, I feel like it's going to be one of those right field teams where nobody saw it coming, and it's sort of like, what was it, Namorita last year? Yeah, so like, just kind of out of right field, and it just sort of directly countered everything that everyone else brought. But I think short of that, it's gonna be like, well, Super Rare is gonna win globals. Joe's saying Ring of Winter Gold Dragon still wins over Yanti though. Yeah, yeah, but I feel like if you miss, let's say you miss your ring roll, like, what do you do? I mean, sure, you still have it for next turn, but that means you have to buy another gold dragon next turn. Which isn't ever a bad thing to have two gold dragons, but it's definitely, if you're not going to hit on 3 or 4, they're gonna have some answers out already. In my opinion. I've actually never played either one of those teams. Personally, I've never piloted them, so I did. I watched a lot of those two teams when I went to Origins, so I did get right. Right. Joe says, if you want to talk about spoilers, how about the Smash Direct in 2 days? I haven't watched any of the Smash Directs. I watched the highlights of the last one. I'm trying not to get too carried away in the Smash hype because I don't even have a Switch yet, but I will be having one, and I will be streaming the Smash Bros as soon as December 3rd comes around. I do realize they have announced the Smash possible full roster leak. Oh dear, they did announce the Smash Switch bundle, which I think I need to get on some sort of list for that, but otherwise I'm just trying. People are already like analyzing move sets and matchups, and I'm like, come on, like you don't really know. But Bodie, do you play any Smash at all? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good time. It is a good time. Mm, I don't think so. I haven't listened to any of those. I don't think. Unfortunately, don't tell them. You're, right, your secret's safe with me and the rest of the internet. Yeah, Joe, jump in the call, dude. We're in room 1, by the way. He said it's killing. He still can't hear you, so something is wrong with my computer. Yeah, which it sort of makes. I mean, it's not showing up on my mixer, so it's not coming through. But anywho, no. What was this whole interview about or something? Okay. Ooh, interesting. Okay. Uh huh. Okay. Right. So it's that sounds cool. I mean, I feel like that's the direction it needs to go to since it's not collectible anymore. It's like, well, if everyone has access to the same cards, like the balancing has to be so much better, since you can't just be like, well, this card's good, but not everyone's gonna have it. It's like, no, that's not gonna be the case anymore. You know, if cards are good, people will play them. So if if there ever becomes a top 8 cards in the game, like people are going to play that. But if there's a top 40 cards in the game, then you have to you have to expect a whole lot more options when you go to play at the competitive level. Hmm. Yeah. More variability in that way. That's pretty cool. I mean, I can get behind that. I mean, it makes it so that more cards are playable together, you know? Like if you have kind of like Yanti, it's like, well, all the Yantis are good, but you can't play them all together. But it's like if that was which is good in that case, but you know, there are some cards like Trey at one point in the WDA we were going to have a totally illegal night. So it was like you could play multiple versions of the same character, and you could play. I think it was like you could play every card up to max 4 or something like that. The only reason I turned it down is because it's impossible to run that through the team builder. Like it will not physically let you pick 2 copies of Wolverine or whatever else. But it would be super fun for a local shop to do. What's up? Heyo. Tell me more. Okay. Wow. That's pretty nuts. Okay. Nice. So you could target any die. Ugh. Woof. I feel like I'm gonna have to go listen to this now at some point. Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. Mm-hmm. Right. Right, because in theory, if they made enough cards that let's say fit every want or need in the game, you know what I mean? Then team building would become much more of a puzzle. You know, like you would have to actually prepare for every option because every option is available. Mm-hmm. Hmm.
This hat is so massive. Even cut it down. This is post cut.
It might not look that big.
With flowers on it.
Yeah, once you fill it up with stuff.
To get it inches so sorry.
Right. I also like. I've always wondered. So I don't know if you guys ever played Light Seekers before. So there's one of the orders there is Astral, and a lot of your cards play differently depending on what is on the top of your discard pile. So like I've always wondered if how Dice Masters would play if there was more situational cards like that. Like if you have more than one sidekick in your prep area, then trigger this or whatever. Like not necessarily the most consistent abilities, but something that could make you think about the flow of the game and what you need to make happen every turn different. Right. Stepford Cuckoos. I mean, X-23 or Hitmonkey. Right. 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 Rotation doesn't mean anything if you keep the same cards reprinted every rotation. Right. And that's, I mean, one thing that I've said since rotation was announced, period, was that I thought it would be cool if rotation was a shorter period of time, but it was just a, it was a hand picked, like, 5 set meta. Like, say, so first rotation just says that these 5 sets, regardless of when they came out, I realize that's a distribution problem, but in a meta team building sort of way, it's way more fun, in my opinion, to say, oh, I have these 5 sets to choose from instead of just these 5 most recent sets. I don't know. I think it would be cool to explore some sort of, just pick 6 sets and say that this is what we're going to build around for the next 6 months or whatever. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, did they say anything on the podcast about the future of competitive Dice Masters? Is that a like right, right, that's good. I mean, it's comforting to know that WizKids had a plan has a plan. Like, for a while it was sort of, well, we're just gonna change from collectible game to LCG and we're just gonna see what happens. Huh. Okay. Uh huh. Right. Yeah, I wonder if, like, I mean, thematically, it would be kind of cool if you could field, like, sort of like Parasite, if you could field energy and then, like, other characters in the field could use that energy, but, like, in a thematic way, not just like an energy sort of way. I think that'd be kind of cool. I'm definitely. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, I like what you were saying about like um, defensive characters. Like I always thought it would be cool that you get rewarded for being good at your job, right? So like when you successfully, when this character successfully blocks and is not KO'd, gain an experience counter or something, but not necessarily experience in the way that we know so far. It could be a counter that could count any number of things. Mm-hmm. Right. Or just if they tweaked heroic or suit up, they would both be really good. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Lots of possibilities. Mm-hmm. 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 Right. And if you think about, feel like in the past, affiliated teams have been built around like the best of that affiliation. It hasn't necessarily been could I take four of that affiliation, regardless of what abilities they are, and would they still play well together? Like you're saying, sort of the tribal stuff. It's like if you picked four, good tribal synergies stuff, it wouldn't necessarily matter that they were super good by themselves. Like that's the entire point is that you've built around that whole faction or that whole affiliation instead of just like one really good card that happens to be that affiliation. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Then you wouldn't have to build single affiliation teams or just scatterbrain teams. It would be like strategically two affiliation teams. Uh, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Yep. Mm-hmm. Just start chucking stuff at the wall, man. Agreed. Well, I think I'm going to call it a night. It has been fun. I apologize for not having matches lined up. Right. I will look at the VOD and see what happens. It does say in my mixer that nothing is coming through desktop audio, but which is weird because when I was playing Spotify earlier, it was coming through the desktop audio. Let me try to turn Spotify on real quick and see if it goes then we'll see if if it's a Hangouts problem. All right. Yeah, that's not working either. It's interesting. I will try to salvage this conversation because I do feel like it was worth letting other people experience and listen to it. So thanks for that. You guys nailed it. But otherwise, we'll see you next week. I think we should totally revisit this format later on when more people are available. I feel like the underlying win conditions would be really fun to watch. So we'll try it again sometime, but I will see you fine folks later on. Oh, daggone it. Just dropping things everywhere. But, yeah, I'll have the format out. Hopefully, I mean, some people would say the earlier I get the format out, the better. And then some people would say I'm going to show up or I'm not going to show up regardless. We'll just have to see what happens. But it's been a pleasure. I'll see you guys next time. And until then, hope your days are great. See y'all.